Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Oh boy, testing out the new green screen. There were a few little problems with the green screen on the last video we ran with it, so I took the time to kind of rebuild how I have everything set up here, and so we're testing out the green screen with this. How do you like the background? Is that kind of nice? Anyway, let's see. Lots of folks came on here today. Farron, I think Farron went out to sleep, and let's see, 79 minutes. Alex Dorr, greetings. Ezekiel Bacon. Ooh, I like Ezekiel and I like bacon. We should be friends. Mark Nay, Lamarck, greetings. Isaiah, hello. How is it going? It is going pretty good. Greetings, Pizza. You still on? And let's see. Oh boy, Kitty came up. Kitty wants to say hello. Hello, everyone. All right, make room for the cat. All right. Yeah, lots of new subs. So that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about on this one is just lots of cool channel growth. Want to say thanks to everyone who's new on here. Hopefully, if you are watching the stream. If you are watching the stream new and it's your first time on the stream, say hello to everyone. This is a lovely community. Except when the 4chan guys show up again. Although that was a little fun. We just had to deal with it a little bit. Why do I think it's growing so fast? I don't know. My initial thoughts is it was possibly the X-Turn video because that one did receive a ton of views right away. But, you know, but aliens. I like Mark's idea. Aliens. I mean, aliens. Aliens cause channels to grow. So I think it's just aliens. That's what I think. I don't know if a big YouTuber gave me a shout out. If someone did, I don't. Maybe I could gain some thoughts looking through my analytics and see, did a bunch of people share videos. I know the X-Turn OS one got a lot of positive comments and a ton of negative comments too. You know, some people are just calling me flat out crazy, etc., etc. So, you know, and I thought it was a fair video. I mean, I called the things that I liked pretty well, and you know, but there's certainly some things like a lot of people have switched over to the Linux distros simply because of the privacy concerns, and it comes out with a huge EULA that looks very much like Windows 10 and a lot of data collection that looked a lot like Windows 10. So I don't know if anybody else has any theories. That's the current tinfoil hat theory going right on now. X-Turn OS is scarier than Windows 10K. Yeah, that one received a ton of, I think it's still, last I checked, it was still getting like 50 to 80 views an hour, and it maintained that steady rate for a long time. Let me see what my stats look like on that video right now. Yeah, even the last hour, it's got 64. The amount of views has not yet abated on that video. Also, I released my top 5 Linux distros for 2018. That one also has 5,000 views on it. And then my final thoughts on Linux Mint Budgie received over 1,000 views as of right now. So I think that those are some of the contributing factors to why the channel's growing. But hey, I just want to say thanks to everybody who is new here. And what I did want to do is I've been wanting to record a new channel intro for a while, and so I'm going to use that time. I'm going to talk about what I do on this channel and what makes Switch to Linux different than many of the other Linux channels out there, probably leading to its rapid growth over the last year. I mean, think of this. 1 year ago, this date, I had just crossed 100 subs. That's interesting to me. And I don't think I'm the fastest growing channel, but I might be the fastest growing independent channel. So there have been channels like Company Man that have started more recently than mine, who is over 150,000, and I didn't know much about him, but a friend of mine who does follow the whole YouTube scene is like, oh, well, he was connected with some big channel. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. And you get things like that, like Level 1 Tech, for example. They were, of course, the channel existed for a while, but they didn't do much with it. They did everything on Tech Syndicate until Tech Syndicate broke, and then everyone followed Wendell over there. You know, so you had a lot of those channels that spiked up pretty fast, but I have no association or affiliation with any other people or any other group. And I went from I crossed 100 in January of last year, all the way up to, I'm, as of right now, 7131 in my panel. So thank you all for that. And I think a lot of it's just the variety, and that's kind of what I want to talk about here today. And I'm always trying to improve things. I'm always working, like, for example, the green screen. The green screen is certainly an improvement in here, and that's one of the things that I put into place as of January. We started to build it, and we did some initial testing with it, and it didn't quite go as well. But now actually I have the whole green screen working wonderfully. It basically divides my entire office in half. So, you know, things like that. So I think some of that's it. I've never done this. I've never rested on my laurels. That's how I ended up being a college professor with a doctor's degree before I was 30. I think I was like 28 when I finished all that stuff. I just don't stop. I started my web design company, and then I decided what was the next thing I need to do to grow. You just don't stop. You just got to move on. You got to break through the barriers. You got to work it. And that's really what it takes. Let's see, due to the external EULA, some people don't like the truth. Yeah, 206 thumbs up and 80 thumbs down. But you know what? The controversial videos do get some views. Controversial videos do get the views, absolutely. Yeah, when you say a Linux distro is worse than than Windows, it does raise a few eyebrows. XP the PC nerd, greetings. Let's see, I realized the video was attracted some Windows users that didn't enjoy the fact that he said Windows spies on you. Well, Microsoft tells you that Windows spies on you. I mean, Word of Linux, greetings. I should create GNOME Linux Mint. No. Like, I don't mind Budgie based on GNOME. Even Cinnamon is based on an older version of GNOME. I don't necessarily mind those, but they're certainly not my my forte, as it were. But yeah, I don't. He loves it. I can feel it deeply in the heart. If you can feel it deeply in your heart, maybe I do. I have not been made aware of my own love for GNOME at this point in time. However, if I had GNOME working on like a tablet or a phone, I think that'd be a perfect place for GNOME to be. Mark Ney is on GNOME at the moment. All right. Thing with GNOME is just too many pointy hats, too many, you know, I mean, just kind of that kind of stuff. Budgie was based on GNOME a little bit and still uses a lot of the GNOME software. Yes, the one thing I don't like about Budgie is it uses Nautilus as its window manager, or like file manager. And I hate Nautilus. I despise Nautilus. Let's see. World of Linux. Rip. Uh-oh. Rip. Kitty, what's Rip? Are you Rip? You're not Rip. No. There's 2 cats. Yeah, well, there's like 60 or 70 cats around here somewhere. I don't know. No, I only have 2 cats. This one here is not camera shy. He just kind of likes being in the center of attention, which is why he's like half sitting on my desk right now. The other one, she likes being in the background, but she's just kind of out there. Just kind of out there. Raining here in Phoenix. All right. Green screen. Yep. Yep, and I think I have it working a little bit better this time. I don't know. We'll have to test it out when if I go to show the website view. Let's see. Hey, Cobalt Technology, greetings. Yeah, the one place to really test if the chroma key is working well is if I go over to the website view, and it looks like it's still a little off. However, I failed to turn off the light up here, and my system is calibrated to not have this light on. Let me do that. Let me change that real quick. If I do that, that fixed it up. That fixed it up. Of course, I look like a little crazier now, but yeah, I don't know. I look like I'm fading in and out of reality at this point. So some of that's just kind of, I'm still working on some of the fine settings. I thought this would be a good video to test it a little bit more. I'll go ahead and turn that back on, and I will fade back in. I kind of felt like, ever see Howard the Duck, where he's got that little thing where it just kind of phases you out, and you're like, you know, that's kind of what I just felt like for a minute there, that Howard the Duck thing going. Let's actually jump over to the, let me pull the comments feed up there. All right, well, I'm just going through comments. We have a very light agenda today. We're just going to kind of do a little hangouty type stuff, but I do want opinions on what is the next distro that I should be running on my media PC. I'm taking thoughts and thinking about that. I'm leaning right now towards Manjaro Deepin is where I'm leaning right now. Green screen. What about a blue screen? Well, you know what? The reality is the green screen was given to me. Blue screen I'd have to buy. So, you know, green screen it is. And most of them are green screens now. Apparently green works a little bit better than blue. It's so that when you're strangling somebody and their lips are all turning blue, their lips don't fade off into obscurity. But the cool thing is my water bottle does fade off into obscurity. So, I mean, even the title, like these, the letters and stuff, they fade off into obscurity too. Isn't that cool? That's nice. Yeah. Let's see. Currently got a laptop beside me working on the next distro, Parker OS Lite, based on Peppermint with elements of Elementary. Well, that would be cool. Include the parental controls. That is the absolute hands-down best thing about Elementary. I love the parental controls built into Elementary. Very nice. Hey, Kitson9T, greetings. Just got my glasses. They came in the wrong color for the second time. What's your adjectives there, pizza? Watch those adjectives. Well, hopefully they're good now. Okay, using Linux due to the privacy issues, and it's also possibly to use different desktops. There you go. Orders the blue, not the white. Hey, here in Penn State country, we order blue and white. Go figure. Hey, say Joel, sleepy, but you'll stay here. Well, if you fall asleep on the keyboard and you start naming volcanoes in the comments, we'll understand. Using Linux because of the support. Very old hardware. And hello, Hector. Just crossed 100 recently. Awesome, XP. That's very cool. Well, because I posted a meme video. There you go. Company Man is awesome. Yeah, I like Company Man's channel. He's got some good stuff. Linux is for everyone else. Much options. Oh, yeah, you like that video, Pizza. Yeah, let me know your comments on that. I think I saw that you sent a comment out and haven't logged into there. But I did on my Christian channel. I did a huge, like, hour-and-a-half walk through Genesis to Revelation. What is every book of the Bible about? It was pretty cool. So, and the cooking channel is called Home Cooking Hacks. Yeah, I'm slowly working on that. I did publish a new recipe on Home Cooking Hacks on Sunday night. I published my recipe on how I make homemade yogurt. And the video I'm doing tomorrow is how to use a wireless router to create a wireless access point. I've been having difficulties with the pfSense system in the Wi-Fi network, particularly when I stream a video through the iPad through the pfSense wireless router, it crashes the wireless card. And so it's always best practice to have a wireless access point when you're using pfSense. So rather than spend money on one, I just hooked up my old router as a wireless access point in the center of the house. That will actually allow me to stream on the cooking channel. I was not able to stream on the cooking channel because I could not get any signal in the kitchen for Wi-Fi. But now I have 400 Mbps Wi-Fi in the kitchen. So if you guys want, I can start doing live stuff on the cooking channel. That might be interesting. Let's see. Do more controversial videos so you grow faster. Yeah, you know. Avery, what's this channel about? You know what, Avery? I'm going to talk about what the channel is about today because I've had a ton of new subscribers come on. Primarily, and I'll give you the cookie cutter version first and we'll go into more detail later, but I'm not a Linux guy who was just a geeky Linux guy, you know, trying to figure out what type of cool geeky things I can do in the basement. I moved to Linux for the practical application that Windows 10 started to become a system I would never want to use. And so I had to look for alternatives as to how I can actually get my work done. And so I switched to Linux for everything. And then I just loved the community, the builds, what you could do with it. And so really, if you can think about it, is this channel is kind of almost like a all-encompassing red pill type channel with a primary focus on Linux and technology. Linux privacy and technology is one of the things I focus on. But there's other things. So I have the Tinfoil Hat Time series where I focus on fairly controversial things in our society, and I put on a nice tinfoil fedora because, of course, Fedora is a Linux distro. And so I just talk about a lot of different things. And so I'm going to get into that a little bit more later on because I'm actually going to record a new intro video on this stream. But welcome, Avery. We're going to feed through some comments and we're going to go over a few other things. GNOME on tablet would suck. I don't know. Well, the thing is that it needs to become a little bit more lightweight, but the interface, the layout, how it's designed, I think is good. Got this far without clickbait. Yeah, some people accuse me of some clickbait. Top Cat. Hello, Top Cat. Says, GNOME always sucks. I should play that Pink Floyd song, right? There's a Pink Floyd song about a gnome. How to switch to Linux and Arch Linux. Yeah, I usually stay in the Debian family. I usually run Linux Mint as my primary production computers. I am running Debian on the computer that's just kind of right out of the way over here. Debian. Whoa. I lost focus. All right. Budgie should create their own software as soon as possible. I've read it will be based on Qt. Yes, the next Budgie is based on Qt. That is what I've been hearing. My router just decided to disconnect from the internet. It was only out for a minute. It does not like me using VPN. pfSense, you can build the VPN directly into it, so that's kind of cool. XTOS uses too many resources for basic tasks, and JavaScript for OS is going to have some problems. Yeah, well, how long before someone hacks CoinHive into it? There's a question. Try KDE Neon. Yeah, KDE Neon's not too bad. Yeah, I actually won't do Arch Merge. I have detailed other places why I will not look into Arch Merge, which I won't get into here, but that's actually off the plate for me right now. Let's see. Suggest one of the pre-configured Gen 2 distros just for fun. Yeah, there's a few of those. I should look into one of those. Yeah, KDE Neon is not a bad option. I do like running KDE on this computer. Hello, Q1 Fiend. How are you? Nitrix was cool till they decided to remove Pac-Man function. Can you put it back? I like gobbling up ghosts. You ever see the Pac-Man mod you can make to the Pac Manager that puts Pac-Man over there eating the pellets as it installs? That's pretty sweet. Hannah Montana Linux. There's just too much pink in that. I actually have worked on a few sites that are just incredibly too pink, and so I kind of try and avoid pink in everywhere else in my life. Ubuntu 16.04, that's a pretty good one. Mr. Night Fluffy, how's it going there? Switching XFCE to Cinnamon for the first. Broke something but repaired it today. All right. Bearwolf, Pizza Love Nerd, you should do a fork or elementary. Hello, James Miller. How are you? Hello, Joe. Hello, William. Lucid Theming. Yeah, well, there's actually 52 on right now with a peak of 53 on the streaming. Probably some users who are watching and don't have an account. That's always a possibility. Fortunately, I don't know code. I installed distro, base, and then customize using different accessories available from the repository. Not a coder, just concepts. That's cool. Graham R, greetings. Well, thanks, Graham. Let's see. Windows 10 is now a rolling release. Yeah, 6-month rolling release. Every 6 months, it's going to reset your privacy settings. Thank you for the new sub, Mr. Fluffy. Gonna be people who live in the terminal. Gonna have custom-made terminal apps. When you think about Purism and EELO, EELO, I don't know that one. Purism, I like the concept of Purism, but I'm not. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure we're getting. Yeah, Purism, so the phone company. That's coming up with the Linux-based phone. I like the concept what they're doing, but I will not be an early adopter. For me, I don't have to have every device in my life running Linux. I need to have devices in my life running privately. That's why I don't like. I have a Nexus 5X that I have a Lineage custom ROM on, no connections to Google, and I run everything through Tor. That's what I want for a phone. I don't care that my phone is exactly Linux. I care that my phone is privacy centric, and so I think that the price is too high. I don't spend that much money on phones. I just don't. And so for me, I have an iPhone and I have a Nexus 5X, and I spent less than $400 on both of them combined. That's kind of the way I do things. I look for deals and stuff like that. So GNOME at least would be a good system for tablets. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's where GNOME would shine for me personally. Debian family, pretty good distros. Yes, I do like Debian. I'm using Plasma on Arch Linux. Cool. Running Elementary OS. Thinking of switching. Graham, how's Elementary OS running? I'm, of course, a little critical of Elementary OS, but I'm always pleasant to see people who are running it and it's working well for them. That would be, I'd like to know how it's running for you. I have always had problems with it, and I've wanted to like it. Hello there, Total OS. Full install of Makulu now. Sweet. I think I might actually look at the new Makulu soon too. I do still have a Makulu build on my other Linux Mint computer, and I have it themed to look exactly like Windows 10. It's actually pretty awesome. Linux Lite and MX17, great distros. May need some people to test it. Yes, let me know when it's ready, and I will have a look. Debian is so stable that 9 was terrible. I concur. There's a few bugs in 9. Absolutely, I agree with that. The biggest bug I've encountered on Debian 9 that I've not been able to resolve is the volume situation. The one thing someone suggested, the only thing anybody's ever yet suggested I've not yet tried, is going up into the unstable repositories and see if that's something they fix down the road. And I might just do that. I don't know. I'll think about it. I really like the way the computer runs otherwise, and it's a minor annoyance. So newspapers forcing users to accept ads. Yes, that is on my list for Friday's news show. And it is, who is it? Salon. Yeah. So if you're running an ad blocker, they're going to give you the option to either turn off the ad blocker or allow them to harvest Bitcoin or Morana, really. Happy Valentine's Day. You know, maybe I should run a pink distro just for Valentine's Day. Which is better for a newer PC, Mate or XFCE? You know, it really depends on what you want, actually. I think both of them are good. I usually use XFCEs on either lightweight distros or things like Cubes where it's built in. I don't specifically go for XFCE specifically, but it has really made a lot of good moves. Of the two, I honestly like XFCE better than Mate, but they're both really good. And for a new PC, I don't really think it makes much of a difference. How many checks to their Google account settings? Even Chromium seeing the share the same. Surprisingly, it's found full access from Ubuntu website had full access. Wait. How many check their Google account settings? Even Chromium seeing as they share the same. Found full access from the Ubuntu website, had full access to my account. That's kind of scary. That's why I have one browser dedicated to the YouTube account, and I don't use different browsers for everything else. Oh, are we getting to the bottom of the comments? I think we're getting to the bottom. I'm going to scan over these. How to deal with driver issues. Is there any source you can get for NVIDIA drivers? Hello, is it Balaludin? Greetings. So it depends on your distro. If you're running Ubuntu or Linux Mint, there is actually, if you load into your start menu, you will find a driver manager. So if you just come up into your menu and you'll find a driver manager here. And the driver manager will actually detect the cards that you have. Of course, it wants my password. And it's loading on the other screen. I'm going to have to move it over here for you. It's updating cache now. Okay, so you'll have this driver manager, and what this is going to do is it's going to show you any driver on your system that there's proprietary or other drivers you can be using. So you can see on this one here, I have the Intel microcode because this is a Core 5 processor. And so that's what you have on Ubuntu. You'll have that on Linux Mint. There's some other builds out there which will have the NVIDIA driver systems kind of built into the system by default. And so those are other places where you can look as well. EELO is trying to get rid of Google Pure Android without Google Apps. Oh, I'll have to look into them. I have no idea what that one is. More into conceptualizing an OS and actually compiling into an ISO. Since I wanted to start a company, I'm going to be CEO and distro concept designer. Cool. Go for it, man. How do you get deals? Okay, negotiation tactics are fabulous tactics to have. And what you do is, I knew I was looking for another phone. In fact, I'm almost in the market for another one again. And so what I'll do is I'll start browsing eBay, Craigslist, and Amazon, and then start to do my research. And I kind of decide what I want. I wanted specifically a Nexus. I originally wanted the Nexus 5X because I was thinking of originally running Plasma Mobile. But being that it's not stable, not production ready, and I need a production ready phone, I end up going with Lineage. But the Nexus 5X, the reason I went with that one is it can be run on any American cell phone company. So it has both GSM and CDMA chipsets in it, so I can run it on any carrier in the United States. It is completely unlocked. I can access the root file systems with an ADB on just the USB cable without having to root the phone. That means that I don't need to introduce the inherent security flaw of having a rooted phone, but I can still modify some of the system files as needs be. For example, my hosts file is an excessively large host file that blocks a whole ton of bad stuff, and I want to be able to push that over onto the onto the phone as I update it. And so that's kind of the type of stuff that I wanted to look to do. So then what I do is, with that in mind, I just once a week or so, I'll jump onto Craigslist, jump onto eBay, see what's around, and I end up just finding somebody that had a Nexus 5X. They wanted to get rid of it for $200. So I met them halfway, about 60-mile drive, met them halfway in between, and we ended up, just getting a really good phone. And I've not had any problems at all with the phone since then. So you just kind of know what you're looking for, and you got to hunt around. Amazon's a decent place to get phones. GameStop is actually a good place to get phones. You can order them from GameStop, order them into the local store, and that way you can check it before you leave the store with it. So if there's a return, an issue with the phone, you can send it back. But GameStop has really good prices on used phones. So you just hunt around the market, know what you're looking for, and the key thing to getting a deal is being patient. If you're patient, you can get a much better deal. And negotiate. It is possible to block harvesters using a host file that will get them. Yes. And that's exactly what I have on my host file. That's what I have. KI2NE, hello. Still not sure how Bitcoin works. You're not alone. NVIDIA drivers were such a headache for me. Secure boot is evil. Smeek, how have you been? I've been very good, Smeek. How are you? Using Linux changed my life. Now I have access to better software. Doing my homework has never been easier. Yes. Wasn't actually disabling secure boot when I thought I was. Okay. Lineage is good, but it's draining my battery. Yeah, check all your settings. I don't have any of those issues. My battery lasts like 2 days. I have to charge my phone every other day, and I think that's pretty good for any modern smartphone. Okay. What do I think of Arch? I don't use Arch enough to give a real good opinion on it, but it's cool. Skull Eater, hello. Is anyone going to get Minecraft 2? Looks like you can have some of the benefits of Amazon Echo without sending your data to the cloud. Huh. Cool. Hello, Renard. How are you? Well, Spectre Meltdown exploits. Have they been patched yet? I don't even know. I stopped following. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit. I think first on my list, let me just try and read my thing here. We got the Hangout part done. Welcome to all the new subscribers. There have just been a ton of new subscribers to the channel. It's been growing literally hour by hour. So let's see what we're at right now. So I've gone up 5 more subs since we started. So I have no idea what caused this thing, and I have no idea what it takes to move above a C+ in Social Blade. But let me go ahead and show you what Social Blade's looking like right now for me. Here, let me get the mic out of the way a little bit. There we are. Hey, there we are. There it is. Now I can like half point to websites. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right. So on Social Blade, if you come over here on the Social Blade, you can see how well the site's been growing. And I have no idea why. I'm up 48% on views for the last 30 days. I'm up 44 subscribers. This is like the absolute highest I've ever seen. And then if you look down the numbers, what seems to happen is right around Friday is when this started to blow up. Prior to this, it was a little rare for me to cross 3,000 views in a given day. Friday ended up shooting up to 5. Now, what you see in Saturday is a little goofy because Saturday Social Blade was not updating correctly. And what ended up happening is this huge 93 on Sunday was actually half of Saturday and all of Sunday. So you assume like 60 each day and then some of these. And then I thought, okay, well, it might die down a little bit. And then Monday rolls around and I get to 53 on Monday. And then yesterday, this is my biggest day ever on YouTube was yesterday. I don't know why. But thanks, everyone. And I'll tell you what, it is a goal of mine to develop this channel into something that I can hire people, we can create jobs, and we can teach people a lot of good things about, like I said earlier, I'm not just about Linux guy. I am a guy that really focuses a lot on, I focus a lot on a variety of different topics. And if you watch the things, and a lot of it just has to do with the way my brain works. I never stop learning. I never stop thinking. I'll read a book on sociology one day. I'll read a book about Hinduism and Buddhism the next day. You know, I'm always learning various things here and there. I think that is a contributing factor. Of course, today, so we've actually crossed 100 for today as well. And I bet that today for sure is going to beat, I think today's view count is going to beat yesterday's view count, sub count. Verdict's still out. There's good 4 or 5 more hours left in the day, so we'll see what happens. I just want to take this time and say welcome to all the new subscribers. Let me know in the comments the types of videos you want to see, the types of things you want me to talk about, and really, I talk about everything. I focus specifically on this channel on the privacy, the technology, the operating systems, and mostly how to practically apply those things in our life. I'm not all that concerned about all of the little odds and ends type things out there. I'm not concerned about, you know, Qt versus GTK and this and that, and I have no idea how to compile a distro. I am first and foremost a business person. That's what led me to Linux. I'm a business person, and the opportunity I had to continue to work with the system I was working on, be it Windows, they moved my cheese. Ever read that book, Who Moved My Cheese? I have a funny story about that book. So let me give you a brief synopsis of that book in case you've never read it. So this is a business book. I think it's Ken Blanchard, or if it's not Ken Tuck. If it's not Ken Blanchard, it's his whole group of guys, 1 Minute Manager type books. And the entire book is about how, I gotta mark my place. Okay, I know where I am. The entire book is about how humans are the only species in the world that we keep going back to the same place even when opportunity has died. Okay. And so, with that being said, we tend to sit there and go, and the story is about a maze, and there's two mice, and there's two humans, and there's cheese in the maze, and the mice and the humans all find out where the cheese is. And then it follows the story of the mice and the little humans, and the little humans, they move the cheese to somewhere else. And what happens is the mice go back there 2 or 3 times, realize there's no more cheese here, and so they start going back through the maze, trying to figure out where the cheese was moved to. Meanwhile, the humans, they just keep on going back and getting frustrated and frustrated and frustrated that there's no more cheese there. And that's the entire premise of the book, is a learning lesson to say, if the opportunity has died over here, leave over here and try checking out over here instead. That's the entire premise of the book. So when I started teaching at the last college I taught at, they wanted to be trendy and businesslike. In fact, they were members of the Chamber of Commerce, and they had vice presidents, not deans, and things like that. It was just this progressive business-centric school, and they just wanted to be trendy. And I'm not sure they ever read the book, but all of the new hires that year, they gave the book Who Moved My Cheese. If your company gives you the book Who Moved My Cheese, start looking for another job, because they don't get it. It is about your opportunity moving. That's the entire purpose of the book. And so that is one of those premises on that funny book. So that's my funny thing about the book Who Moved My Cheese. But the reality is, as I look at the landscape of the world, what I do for a day job today, that being web design, the way we see web design is not going to continue to be a growing field. It is a field in decline. There are still a lot of people who want to bring on a freelance geek like me to build their websites. And I absolutely am always still getting on new clients, absolutely, and doing more projects and doing more things. But more and more people are going to your Wix, they're going to your Weebly's, they're going to, these other build-it-yourself website models, and leaving the designers behind, at least for a while. And then more and more companies are outsourcing to third world areas for development on the cheap. And so it becomes harder and harder to find good quality people who are looking for someone with my skill set in the field of web design. And so I started to look around at the other things that you might want to do in life. And one of the things I've always wanted to do is be an author. And I ended up writing my first book a few years back. I did a second one this summer, and I should actually release 2 books this year is my thinking. And so for me, the cheese is slowly moving. The cheese is weaning down over here. And so I have to start looking for other opportunities. And that's what kind of led me to think, I switched the entire operating system platforms for very good reasons. That's why I said earlier, this channel is a whole lot more like a Red Pill channel than it is like a Linux channel, in that I'm not going to read you boring stats about GTK is doing this and QT and this is version A. I don't care. I care that I can get my work done. And I care that we can care for one another in this world. And when I look back over the things that I have learned in my life and the places where I've gone, what I have come to see is I have come to see that there are a lot of different things that the Americans and people of the world have been lied to on many respects. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a 9/11 truther. I'm not a guy who tunes into every episode of InfoWars. And probably one of my favorite videos that I've been playing on YouTube lately is that remix song with the gay frogs. I just love it. I gotta confess. I'm not into all of that type of conspiracy type stuff. And but at the same point in time, there are a whole lot of things that I know for a fact we're being lied to. And I think I kind of want to save what caused me to quote-unquote red pill for another day. Might even make a wonderful tinfoil hat time episode. For that one, for you folks that are new, I do don a tinfoil hat. And you guys want to see that freaky? You guys let me know in the comments. You guys want to see that freaky classroom setting I built for last week's tinfoil hat time on education? Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. I'll show you that, guys, if you want. It's creepy. It is creepy indeed. But that's kind of what this channel is about. This channel is about learning. It's about continuously learning. It's about moving on, pressing toward the goal, development, self-improvement. That's why the variety, if you look at the various things that I do, let me go pull up my public-facing channel. I'm being beat out. There's 16,000 people watching the Olympics right now. Being beat out by the Olympics. All right. So if you come over to my live channel over here, and I'm not logged in, so you see all these guys over here. It says subscribe, subscribe. I'm subscribed to most of these guys. So if you check out this over here and you look at my specific videos, you'll see I'm not a typical guy who just sticks in this world. So I do a lot with Linux, obviously. I also do a lot of, like this one here is just teaching how to do various things that I'm learning how to do as I'm working on things. I do a top fives on Mondays. I do an outdoor philosophy series, which I'm currently doing on minimalism. And minimizing things. And people keep asking, don't you mean minimizing? I said, no, minimalism is what I'm talking about. And so I'm doing a series on that. This is a tinfoil hat time on the on education we did. Friday nights I do a roundup. And then every now and again I'll do some other things. So this is kind of what the channel's about. It has a lot of variety. While maintaining an intelligent and tech stuff, and fundamentally, it's also a family-friendly channel. I'm not over here dropping F-bombs every other word, and I think it's inappropriate to do that. You know, there's kids that can access this stuff, and I want to keep it clean for those families that are looking for something clean for their kids to watch. So, you know, that's kind of what this channel is all about. All right, let's jump on back over to the comments for a little bit here. Once you need to install a package manually, everything is in the depths of AUR. Yes. All right, Kudachi Linux. Apparently its built-in VPS also has Tor. Ooh, that might be fun. Let me write that one down. That sounds good. I'm running out of room on this piece of paper. Kudachi Linux. All right. Knowing to have force updates on his laptop. Yes. Hello, Nick. How are you? I want a Nokia 2 for my next phone. Be secure of the Spectra. I needed to update my BIOS firmware to the newer version. Found a Nexus 5 on eBay for 50. Just double. Should you get it? You have to, one thing is make sure it's not international. Another thing is you want to ask them for what is the serial number, and there is actually a website that you can run a phone number's MEID number through and see if it was reported stolen. You want to check on that, and you want to do research on any phone that you want to get and find out if there's boot loop issues. Like the Nexus 5X had boot loop issues. Now, of course, if you ask about it, somebody could lie to it, but it's good to always ask. I don't know if you should get it or not. You really gotta do your research, dig in, ask some questions, find out what the MEID number is, do a search on that, ask some questions, and also see, is it under the buyer protection system? Those are the questions I would ask in that situation. Some drama around the implemented patches. The Linux community criticized them into oblivion. Yeah. Hello, Anthony. Enjoy the channel. Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. I'm good. Think of installing Peppermint on my HP Mini. I was thinking of Linux Lite, but I have time to do a review on it. Yeah, I mean, and Linux Lite, Peppermint, MX, all good. They're all good. I personally just use Peppermint, and it was English Bob's videos that convinced me to run Peppermint, so I tried Peppermint on that. I was running Ubuntu on that little computer. It's a Lenovo S21E. Very small. I mean, Ubuntu ran, but the operating system actually used about half of it. And so I went with Peppermint when now the thing runs like a charm. Yeah, 6.7 up to, yeah, it's growing pretty fast. It's pretty cool. And thanks, guys, for that. So for me, I installed 4.15. Kernel is now patched, applied there. Am I wrong? I think that one is patched. I'm pretty sure that is patched. Site is growing because more people are becoming interested in Linux. Okay, maybe. This week? Everyone's crying about WannaCry while I relax on my Linux machine. Yeah, well, the biggest thing on WannaCry is just make sure... what port was that? It was this very specific port. Just make sure that very specific port is closed. I forget which port it is now. Hello, Anarita. Let's see. You want to be like Linus Tech Tips? Not really, because Linus Tech Tips, they're very focused specifically on the tech end of things. Have I ever tried to learn Mandarin Chinese? No, but I did work with a Chinese youth group before. And I did actually take a bus trip full of Chinese people out to, and I was literally dumped off in the middle of Wyoming. True story. The other day I knew I need a Raspberry Pi for VPN. Cool. Yeah, I actually, my VPN is built out of Raspberry Pi, so that's actually what I do. Linux is road less traveled. Windows 10 is the children of the lie. Getting late in UK. All right, Top Cat, we'll see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. That's funny. I want to create a VPN network that will use a Pi as a server. I actually have a video on that. Let's see if I can find it. Alright, so if you check a look on my channel and search for VPN, I have the Truth and Lies and VPN, and then I have a comprehensive tutorial on how to create your own VPN. This is one's created out of a Raspberry Pi. So those are two of the videos that I have on the VPN Raspberry Pi deals. And it works great, actually. Weebly and Wix sucks. Yes, they do. That odd conflict when I see a Wix ad running on a channel of a guy I really want to support. Oh, the pain. I have to watch my competitors advertising to the masses. Skull Eater. Linux is better because we can see the code in audits, but Bash, Heartbleed show that we really need to audit to be safe. Yes. I heard KDE is full of exploits. I have not heard that. Greetings, Anarita. Anarita, did you check out my new recipe on home cooking hacks on how to make homemade yogurt? A toxicologist taught you how to make bacterial cultures correctly. If elementary OS installed on the main computer, which has AMD Ryzen, plan to overclock an overclocked Linux machine. Are there any people who overclock Linux? Mine might actually be overclocked. My computer was the leftovers from a gamer / game designer. The computer just wasn't good enough for me anymore. So this was it's actually a 3rd gen Core i5. I think it's the 3570K, and I believe it's overclocked. I don't know for sure, but I haven't messed with it in the BIOS, but I imagine it might be. Don't forget Tom on Fire. You know what the green screen allows me to do? I gotta find a topic. You guys tell me in the comment a topic I need to get on fire about, because I'm gonna record a cool Tom on Fire video. Because I have a really cool background with the green screen and Tom on Fire. So let me know. Go back to Mars. Back to Mars, huh? Should I go back to Mars? All right, let me see if I can go back to Mars. Ah, there's Mars. Oh, I gotta fix my Mars video, my Mars window, though. There we are. There's a Mars window. Bang. Bang! I'm on Mars! It's desolate out there, man. It's desolate. Desolate. Oh, the handler just showed up. Hello, Anna Rita. All right. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't after you. Ha ha ha! Yes. Actually, there's a really funny. If you ever watch this, the show Leverage, season 3 has the one called the studio job, and Elliot's there running. There's all these girls. He's like, when you get back, we're gonna have a serious conversation about being paranoid. He's like, the things I've done, there is no such thing as paranoid. Biggest problem with KDE is NVIDIA drivers don't mix well. Okay, I don't think I have anything that, right? So let's see. One of my computers might do NVIDIA. I think everything else I have is AMD. I will sooner throw up in a bucket than use Windows 10. Well, hello, musical Neptunian. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, yes. Icy Doc, I got one. Looks like an astronomy channel. Yes, we are now broadcasting from Mars. You've got your spacesuit. Yeah, I need to get me a spacesuit. Any thoughts on SpaceX and Elon Musk? I think Elon Musk is crazy. SpaceX, I don't know. That's my thoughts on Elon Musk. I just bought setup an HP printer an hour ago. Canon I had for years. It's been PIA on Linux. Yeah, that's fine. Gunfire on this article. All right, let me copy the link. Let's see. Paste. Let's see if that actually gets go to site. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough for me to want to go mad. It's kind of annoying and aggravating, but I'm not sure it's enough for me to go mad. I don't know. I kind of want to go back to my, I'm going to leave it on Mars for a little bit anyway. Let's see. What else I want to talk about here today? Channels. I probably should go back to, if I'm going to record a new channel video, I may as well actually go ahead and go back to my Linuxy green screen. Yeah, the problem is the images are not calibrated. I have to redo this my main image here and recalibrate it so that it actually works correctly. And because it's actually messing up all of the things as I change the green screen around a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and record a new channel intro here. And so bear with me as I do that. And we're gonna then jump on in and continue chatting about anything else we want to chat on while we do. So give me just 1 second. I'm gonna get the cat hair out of my face, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, well, welcome to Switch to Linux. So I want to take a little bit of time on record a new channel introduction here, and what I wanted to do on Switch to Linux. This is not your typical Linux channel where we just kind of talk about system requirements and packages and what distros and all this. Switch to Linux is a variety type channel, and it's kind of, you can almost sort of think of it as sort of like a red pill type channel, and in which case where I moved over to the Linux system because Windows was moving in a direction that I was not willing to go into, and I have never been a fan of the Mac OS in any of its ecosystems, and so I had to look for another alternative. And in hunting around, I found that there was this operating system called Linux that I was actually able to use to do everything that I needed to do, and I didn't have to pay for software anymore. I mean, it's great to give donations to the software I use a lot, but I didn't have some company that wants me to pay a $19.95 a month for a subscription service to write Word documents. I discovered LibreOffice. I didn't have to buy Adobe products on a subscription model. I found GIMP and several other products that are very similar to that. Even this entire video, the green screen behind me, how we're recording this, all of the setup is done on Linux. I'm running this on 2 HD monitors perfectly fine on a pretty old computer. That is the power of Linux. So Switch to Linux is primarily about how I move from using Windows-type operating systems to Linux-type operating systems for my daily work, but it didn't stop there. I started talking about technology and privacy and other things in life. And that is the purpose of Switch to Linux. It's a variety channel where you can learn how to have self-growth. You can learn about new books out there. You can learn about technology, privacy, all of these crazy IoT things that are coming around and why you probably shouldn't have any of those. That's what we're about here on Switch to Linux. So don't come here looking for some boring information about the latest little distro or whatever else. We want to get to the point to where we're thinking about every action and decision that we're doing. That's the purpose of Switch to Linux. So thanks for watching. Feel free to browse through all of the catalogs of videos here and hunt around for what you're looking for. And leave me some comments down below. I try and respond to comments. The channel's pretty big to respond to every one of them, but I do actually attempt to read them all as well. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, that'll do for that. We can go back to, should we go to class now? Should we go to class? We should go to class, shouldn't we? I mean, I gotta be honest, the classroom scene that I built kind of freaked me out. Yeah, that's a freaky background. All right. Is there life down there on Mars? Yes, just don't ask. All right. Let's see. I found Elon Musk to be a very interesting guy, and SpaceX a company to watch. Should be the future of space exploration over NASA. Life on Mars, probably on Titan. Elon Musk is bringing us closer to Mars, and the less reliant on Earth we are, the better. By the way, how long do you think 32-bit computers will last, since I want to use Peppermint or MX for a few years? You know, it just depends on the operating system in reality. Because as long as you have an operating system, that will support the 32-bit and the hardware, you know, it should be fine. But the reality is, like, Apple is discontinuing all 32-bit applications. Windows, I believe, is trying to do the same, and even several Linux distros you can only get 64-bit now at this point. So, I don't know. Fine with humans going to Mars as long as there's no short list or policy like the film Asylum. Ooh, I'll have to look at that. Can I use After Effects in Linux? Adobe programs in general, you can usually find a way to hack most of them onto the system. However, they don't work nearly as good as they could. So that's kind of the downside of it. Overall, what you'd want to look for is ask yourself the fundamental question, what task are you attempting to accomplish, and is there a way in Linux to do that? Now, some people are tied into their software by their job and by saying being in a specific format, but this is kind of funny. I've been doing a lot of marketing stuff for some guys lately, and every single time he needs a request, I'm finding myself booting into the Linux computer to do stuff, get the tasks done, send it back over, and then send it over. And he's like, oh, this is really good. It's like, yeah, it's all done on Linux. I'm not messing with that other stuff. So ask yourself what it is you're trying to accomplish, and then see if there is a Linux system that will, like a Linux software package that will allow you to run it. If not, then you can check to see if it is supported in Wine. Check out winehq.org. I think it's .org. But check out the Wine HQ. And the Wine HQ will actually allow you to, there's lists of applications. You can look up the application and see if it's supported in Wine or not. Adobe programs in general, the installers typically don't work, but if you can get the program installed on the computer, those typically do. So that's kind of what the end is on that. Switch to Linux 101. Yes. Always be some obscure distro supporting 32-bit. The issue is how long the big distros will support them. Yeah, I don't know. Saying SpaceX is better funded than NASA. I only hear of SpaceX launches, not NASA these days. Kitty, leave my camera alone. Kitty's like over there trying to move my camera around. I'm going to send you to class with the aliens, Kitty. Cheers from the Brazilian fan. All right. After Effects is pretty unique in what I do actually work with it. A few years, the standard is 128, and people would say 64 is outdated. Try Caden Live. Yeah, I mean, if you have to have it for one particular application, you know, keep a partition of Windows on the system for that. Or I actually know a guy down here at Penn State. He's one of the upper level system admins at Penn State I think at ARL, and he actually all his Windows stuff. He just runs Ubuntu, a big beefy computer they build himself. Thing's probably pretty close to a supercomputer. He just runs Ubuntu with a virtual machine and grabs the Windows ISO and runs it from there. So that's kind of how that works. All right, you know what? No. I'm trying to think of a good topic to go on fire on. See, fire just happens. Fire just happens. I gotta find a good topic for fire though. I could read comments. That would be fun too, wouldn't it? Oh, we're up another 3 subs. Who uses 32-bit anymore? Yeah, I have an old 32-bit dinosaur computer in the car. Hello, Tony Simmons. How are you? Isn't like going to come a thing until far future. 64-bit doesn't have twice as many bits as 32. It grows exponentially. All right. Let's see. Did I cover anything else? Let's see, updates. I think we've kind of covered updates. We've covered, we said hello to the new subs. We did a new channel intro. And I think we talked about the general directions I'm going to be moving in the future. I think what we might do is, let's just go ahead and probably wrap this guy up. Let's see, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about. Let me go ahead. There's a lot of new subs. So let me go ahead and also introduce my other 2 channels as well. I do 2 other channels. This one is primarily dedicated to, you know, that whole grab bag of philosophy, life, motivation, business, privacy, tech, and Linux, of course. But if you actually come to my main homepage on here, I actually do have 2 other channels. One of these is a Christian-focused channel called Our Walk in Christ, where I do weekly Bible studies on these. Let me pop over to that channel real quick. So this channel here, I do a live stream on this on Thursday nights. So I'm doing some in-depth study on foundations of the Christian faith. So you'll see these darted in here. I also do a daily walk. I call it the Daily Walk series, where I just kind of pick a topic and start going off on that individual topic, kind of unscripted for like 15 minutes or so, like somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes. And then I'll do the live streams, which are kind of random. And then every now and again, I'll throw in another video. I try and also do a video on Fridays when I can, but oftentimes I'm just a little bit too busy for that. So that is my, my Christian channel. And the next channel, I really need extra help to get this one running, but this one's actually dedicated to cooking. And I do all of my cooking from all homemade ingredients. I do have something I saw something on the Jimmy Dore show today I could go on fire on, by the way, related to cooking. But what I do with my cooking channel is everything that I eat, I pretty much make from scratch. I don't buy, it's extremely rare, I should say, to buy pre-made processed foods. The only exception is I don't make cheeses because I don't consume enough cheese to make it worthwhile to do at this time. And who knows? I might down the road. But here, I'm very slow getting these videos out. When I do, you can see they're actually pretty good videos. But everything I do is made from scratch. So how to make homemade ice cream. Here's my chili, strawberry banana smoothie. That's just a welcome video. How to make bread without a bread machine. Real chocolate pudding. I think I have vanilla pudding recorded. Didn't record it, or I didn't produce it yet. Real chocolate pudding, like homemade real chocolate pudding. How to cut a pineapple. That's something a lot of people want to know. Tacos, chocolate chip cookies. My latest one is homemade yogurt. So you can check out that channel as well. Those channels over there are... I want to shoot for one video, and after I get the current round of footage done, then the next thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start bringing someone in to help me do the actual recording, and then we're going to kind of change up the format how I'm doing on the channel. Hopefully it'll make it a little bit better. But those are the other channels that I have. If you do like the content and you are on Patreon, I do have a Patreon account. It's patreon.com/TomM, if I got that right. And so over here on Patreon, I am still working on these. I am very bad about all these gift reward levels, and I need to start focusing more on those. And I don't know, this month with how fast the channel's growing, this might be the month that I do that, because it looks like with how fast the channel's growing, I can afford to cut a few more hours out of my web design schedule to do. But one thing you will get on Patreon is I do a weekly vlog, usually recording at Thursdays, although sometimes it gets moved to another day. I do record a weekly vlog, so you get that, and those are Patreon exclusive. When I have enough patrons that are interested, I will do a patron-based live stream. But I don't have enough following on Patreon for that. Every single time I've asked, they're like, no, we don't need those. So I've just kind of suspended those for now. I do have copies of my last book as a digital download. So if you are a patron subscriber, you can grab a copy of my latest book as a ebook download. So those are some of the things that I am actively do on the Patreon page. So that is what that site's about. Let's go ahead and have a final look at our comments, and we'll see if there's something I want to get angry about, or if we just want to jump off. All right. Okay, so running MX Linux or Peppermint for my HP Mini, as well as Linux Mint for the desktop, Linux Lite on my dad's old laptop. Yeah, all those are good. They're all good. Installation via terminal. There are a few dependencies that need to be installed as well. Talk about how Facebook is putting out a VPN that tracks you, and they want everyone to use it. Oh, really? Well, that's neat. That's, you know how I feel kind of like that? I feel like that the same way I feel about Uber and how I feel about Uber and Lyft sitting there going, we don't need, you guys should do away with that bad hassle of owning cars. Let us own all the cars. That sounds like a great proposition from the people owning all the cars. You know what I mean? What's that line in Iron Man? Like, yeah, that's a great line from someone selling the sticks. All right, I'm gonna look into that VPN thing real quick. Probably just a Linux Lite for everything except my main laptop. Heard the newer processors, the future may be made from a different metalloid than silicon. Huh. Just open a bottle of bubbly. Yay, gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Nice. Old IBM ThinkCenter with IBM Intel Pentium 4 HT and Linux Cinnamon 32-bit was able to play OK 720 on Linux. Okay, cool. All right, let's copy that link, see if that's it. Go to site. Oh, Facebook smart speaker. Yeah, I really want Facebook having a smart speaker. Oh, from Gizmodo. Do not, I repeat, do not download Onavu, Facebook Vampiric VPN service. Yeah, let's go ahead and read that. That sounds exciting. Be interesting to see. There aren't many metalloids, though. Yeah, there's like 2-ish. If you're talking about metalloids, though, of the characteristics of silicone, there's one. Silicone. I mean, things like aluminum or metalloid, but that would not work well because the thing about silicone is it kind of sits half in between, you know, half in between the non-metals and the metals in a completely different way. And so really there's not much. Please do some crypto talking. I'll have to research some crypto talking. Linux doesn't bloat the system requirements. It depends on which distro. Kitty keeps on messing with the camera. Are you being a good open source citizen and posting your recipes to Gnome Recipes? I use Gourmet to actually build them. It is actually on the radar to release a patron-only cookbook. That's kind of what I'm looking at. When I have about, I think I have 10 in there now. So when I have enough, I'll start compiling that, which sounds fun. USA, you have Silicon Valley, the UK equivalent of the city of Cambridge. When are you going to do the podcast with Total OS Today? I don't know. Total OS Today, are you still on? You want to try and do a podcast soon? Last week it almost happened, but I had to jump out the very last minute. I had something that came up that I absolutely had to deal with. So. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and have a look at this article. All right, so do not, I repeat, do not. Hold on, I got to restart that. Hold on a second. This might turn into a Tom on Fire, so I'm going to record it so I don't have to extract it later. Do not, I repeat, do not download Onavu, Facebook's vampiric VPN service. No, I'm not going to bite the kitty. All right. Facebook is not a privacy company. It's a big brother on PCP. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Give me that PCP. It does not want to anonymize and protect you. It wants to drain you of your privacy, sucking up every bit of personal data. You should resist the urge to let it at every turn. There's a new menu item in Facebook app, first reported by TechCrunch on Monday, labeled Protect. Clicking it will send you to the App Store and prompt you to download a virtual private network service called Onavu. Protect shows up on the iOS app. Gizmodo looked for it on an Android device and didn't see it, though presumably it's only a matter of time. Millions of people use VPNs to enhance their privacy online, but that's not Onavu's function. VPNs work by... Okay, I can stop reading the article right here because let me tell you, out of the blue, this irritates the hell out of me. Let me tell you why. We have been moving towards a direction where we have forgotten what the purpose of a VPN is. And that's exactly why I did the video called Truth and Lies and VPNs. Because we are so concerned now with privacy, we fail to believe that a VPN is any different from your ISP. Where a VPN is good is if you're connected to an open Wi-Fi network at a coffee shop, you would want to use a VPN if you're accessing anything on a safe and secure site. Okay? But to say, I have a VPN, therefore I'm private, is not correct. It is not correct. Because the VPN allows whoever controls it to see everything you do. And this is why there's been VPNs out there that are free VPNs that are collecting everything, packaging all your data, and sending it out to third-party advertisers to sell your data to somebody else for you. And people, it has got to stop. 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 We need to stop looking at a VPN as the silver bullet to everything in our privacy. That is not the purpose of a VPN. The original purpose of a VPN is to connect to the network resources of a place you are not in. It has a side effect that it enables you to be shielded from other external sources into what's going on in between your data connections, but all it does is sends every bit of data, kicking it down the can to the VPN company, which is not any good. Particularly want to hear people like, use this third world VPN, whatever else. It is foolishness to use a VPN that is not in your legal jurisdiction, because if they're breaking the laws with your privacy data, you have zero recourse. We need to stop looking at VPNs as a silver bullet, and this is the exact stuff that I was talking about in that video called Truth, Lies, and VPNs. Because in the Truth and Lies and VPNs, I identify all of this kind of stuff. We have got to stop saying, I'm on a VPN, therefore now I'm secure. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. We need to do a whole lot better job at knowing what a VPN is. When do you use it? When do you not use it? Because there is a difference. And now with Facebook having their own VPN, what they're doing, it is allowing them to see every little thing you do on your device. Period. They can see every app. They can get every connection. They can grab every byte of data. Every single thing on your app. Facebook can see what you're doing. And you better believe they're not de-anonymizing it. They're throwing it all right into your profile. This is hogwash. And if you encounter somebody that's actually using this, slap that dude silly. Not literally. This is so bad. There was actually a worse VPN I saw before seeing this, but holy moly, this is bad. This is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Facebook, Facebook. Oh. Oh. Anything Facebook owns is spyware. And no, Facebook is not needed to keep in touch with distance. If you have an internet, and contacting family and friends through email is better. Yes. Been using Instagram to contact family. There you go. Has anyone heard of MeWe? Privacy-oriented social network. It'll be privacy-centric until Facebook buys it. Buying a VPN from Facebook. That's like buying life insurance from a coffin manufacturer. Nick, you did it. You lit me on fire. getting dental treatment from a vampire dentist. Mark Zuckerberg is the king of identity thieves. Yep. Even stuntmen don't burn this long. Next time I'll get the rubbing alcohol. So much misinformation about VPNs nowadays. It doesn't help that shady VPN companies advertise themselves as one shop. Yeah, and that's the problem. And this is why I hate this. This is why I do not use VPNs. I have been thinking about, I have 2 different VPN companies that want me to join their affiliate program. And I agree there's legitimate uses for VPNs. It's just they're oversold. And I'm not completely sure I want to endorse a VPN because of how much they're oversold. I think that's the thing we need to look at. Yeah, Kitty got burnt. He took off. Kitty, kitty. We're done on fire. You want to come back, kitty, kitty? You should only get VPN from people who are renowned for respecting privacy. Yeah. Joining Facebook is the biggest regret of my life. It says, my ISP already has the information on me buying panties. Therefore, I wish to have more things spying on me. Yep. No need to imagine. It's called Windows 10. PIA is one of the better VPNs. There's very little information they were able to give FBI when they were subpoenaed because they don't store data. A paid VPN is a waste of money if you are doing it for the wrong reasons. Most people use a VPN for the wrong reason. You should use a VPN if A, you have a legitimate reason to have your IP address showing up in a different location, development testing, etc. Those are all reasons to use a VPN. B, if you travel a lot. If you travel a lot, you want a good VPN because chances are you're going to be on a lot of unsecured wireless networks. And so those are the cases you want a VPN. I have a VPN that allows me to get back into my own home network. That if I'm at a coffee shop, I can access that VPN and it gives me all the security and privacy I need without having to pay for it. There are legitimate purposes for a paid VPN. It's just a whole lot fewer than people are advertising. And this is one of the biggest problems with all this advertising on VPNs is the wrong information keeps getting out there. The reality is the ISP is still more regulated than some shady VPN company. That's the reality. You can use a VPN to get around throttling, yeah. If you're traveling international, if you are traveling international, you can use a VPN to use a VPN to get into your home area network for Netflix, things like that. So stuff like that. Yep. Windows would be dead if it wasn't so catered from game devs. Yep. All right. Well, I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this guy up. I think we've gotten to the bottom of the comments. We've gotten to the bottom of everything else I wanted to cover. How's the green screen working? Green screen's good? All right. I have a series of distros to look into here for what system we're going to do. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this up right with some kitty cuteness. Let's see here. Whoa. And what I need to do is find this one here. All right. Whoa, kitty treats. All right, here, let's do one for this camera up here. Oh, he's so cute. And we'll do another one down here like that. All right. And are they over here? Are they finger looking good? They are finger looking good, aren't they, buddy? They are, huh? Yeah. All right. A couple final comments. Looks like most people don't know how to do their own private VPN like myself, so that's the issue. But do you travel a lot? I think that's the final question I would ask. Do you travel enough to need one? But yeah, you're right. There are legitimate reasons for that. Just know for sure if you need one. Tell me which distro I should go for today. I'm very new to Linux. I like Linux Mint Cinnamon. That is my go-to distro for new users because it's a very familiar interface and it seems to work with the most hardware out there. Use a VPN to get around getting hacked or tracked by advertisers. Kitty smells charcoal from the fire, yes. People say Linux Mint is not safe compared to other distros. Honestly, because they're morons. There are a number of geeky, snobby Linux users who want you to be running Gentoo and Arch and all these other distros that are, frankly, very hard to use and set up and will require a little bit more work. But the reality is that Linux Mint is just as secure as any other platform. It has all of the security patches. It has all of the fixes. And it does it in a way that is easy for users to understand. Where they come into all of this is that in February of 2016, so 2 years ago this month, the Linux Mint website running a WordPress install was hacked. And when that was hacked, somebody uploaded a malware-infested version of Linux Mint, and it was caught literally within a couple of hours. The only people that were affected were people who downloaded it and did not verify the SSH key. And those that did verify it, they knew that there was something wrong. It had nothing to do with the operating system. It had to do with their website got hacked. Just because somebody's website is hacked does not mean their distro is not secure. Linux Mint is just as secure as any other distro, and it makes installing security updates very easy and very safe. That's all I can say about it. But I see a whole lot of people saying that. But it's a complete fallacy. It's kind of like people trying to dig up dirt where there is no dirt just to move people away from Linux Mint. Because frankly, a lot of people are really jealous that Linux Mint is so high in DistroWatch and in other recommended places, and that just doesn't feel like Linux to them because you don't have to get in there and fight with the terminal. Good. Some of us don't actually have time. See, that's why this channel is so much different. Because I'm not concerned about the geeky things I can do in a terminal. I'm concerned with, can I use Linux to get my work done? That is what my concern is. And Linux Mint allows me to do that. Next distro will I be using? I'm leaning towards Manjaro Deepin is where I'm leaning towards. What if Microsoft went open source? Nah. Still don't trust them. Sure, Debian's site got hacked once too, so it must be insecure. Of course, yeah. Really concerned about it when you first install. There's an option to always update everything, and I would recommend you go for that. All right, then we've got 200 downloads in all. Yes, they screwed up on their website. Not, I mean, and you can't even say they screwed it up. It's just a matter of a hacker found vulnerability and got in there. Welcome to 2018. Well, that was 2016, but it was much the same. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. So have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. Let's see. It's not there. Anyway, you can check out switchtolinux.com/support to learn about all the ways you can help support the channel. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.